Thank you so much for your patience. Welcome to
Yay.
Leading Out Loud. My name is Felicia Davis, and welcome to this new LinkedIn Live series that's presented by Take the Lead. And like I said, my name is Felicia Davis. I'm the founder of the House of Vocal Empowerment and the creator of Voice Sovereignty Framework. And this series was born from Take the Lead's Power Tool Champion Awards, which celebrate women leaders who are using their voices, influence, and courage to redefine leadership from the inside out. With each and every conversation, I'll be joined by one of these incredible women for a conversation about the power tools in action and what it looks like to really embody them in real life, in leadership, and in the service to others. And as you join us, I want you to go ahead and drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. We really love to see this community gather. And so today I have the absolute joy of speaking with Dr. Winter Okoth. She's a global infectious disease scientist, a policy advocate, and a leadership trailblazer. And she's also the founder of Pamoja Kenya Mentorship Alliance. And Winter's story, I'm just so excited to have this conversation because Winter's story is extraordinary. From growing up in Kenya, facing poverty, gender based barriers, and limited access to education, to leading scientific innovation, shaping public health policy, and empowering the next generation of youth and women in STEM. She is truly the embodiment of power tool number two, which is define your own terms. And so before we begin, I want to ask the audience and those of you who are listening to the replay, because the replay listeners are just as important as well. When you hear the phrase define your own terms, what comes to mind for you? Just drop one word in the chat for us. What comes to mind to you when you hear the words define your own terms? So, Winter, let's
Hi,
start right at
Felicia.
the heart of your power tool. So when you reflect on your life and leadership journey, what does it mean to define your own terms?
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much, Felicia, for this opportunity. And it's such an honor to be here with you and to, be part of the Leading Out Loud series.
Absolutely.
Defining your own terms, it's very personal for everybody. And I think we're all very unique individuals, each one of us. And I think it stems from knowing who you are, and understanding yourself, and what are the values that you hold deeply and dearly to your heart. You determine what you truly value in life. Is it giving back to the community, making a difference in the world, one community at a time, spreading kindness, spreading goodness around the world. It's about, setting personal and meaningful goals. And this can be, in your personal life, it could be work-related goals, career-related goals, community-related goals. But it's important, setting those goals that resonate with you personally, the authentic you, because there's no any other person that's similar to you.
Yes.
You are uniquely you, and what you bring to the table matters. And should be
Mm.
appreciated. And knowing, when you know your worth, you know your values, and you know what you carry within you, and you want
Yeah.
to share that light, and you want to share that with the rest of the world. That's how to spread the positive energy. That's how to make a difference, starting from where you are, from your grassroots, the local community, before you even get to the global.
Mhm.
And, just embracing the journey, because it is a journey. Defining your own times is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's something that you do, and it evolves as you grow. And I always say we grow in different phases of life journey. And as you grow, you keep to learn and get to know the new you at that level. You
Mhm.
you get to find a way of understanding yourself at different stages of life. And so if you embrace that, and priorities can change, but how do we evolve? How do you um, learn the new and keep on learning, and just having the urge, to wanting to take intentional actions.
Mhm.
The alignment is very important.
Yeah.
And it's very, very paramount. How do you align your actions with your goals and with your values, to achieve whatever it is that you've said that you want to achieve in life, and to make the world a better place for all. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I love about everything that you just said, Dr. Winter, is that when it comes to defining your own terms, there is so much nuance, meaning there's not a straight line to it, right? It's really
Yes.
about what that means for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I
Yes.
really love about this power tool. And so
Mm-hmm.
as we continue into this conversation, I know that you have spoken openly about your early life, like the
Mm-hmm.
challenges, the obstacles, and the barriers you faced growing up in Kenya. How did those experiences shape your leadership identity and the woman that you become today? And
Oh, thank
audience, just before you type in Dr. Winter, audience,
you.
as you're listening, I want you to think about your own journey. Like what
Mm-hmm.
early experience shaped your leadership? And share a word or a phrase in the chat. And so back to you, Dr. Winter. How did those experiences shape your leadership identity and the woman that you become today?
Oh, thank you. I'm grateful for those experiences, and when I look back, I am really appreciative that I went through what I went through, because were it not for that, I don't know how my journey would have evolved. And it's coming from a very humbling background. Um, I got to learn different skill sets without even knowing that I was learning these skill sets, in the process. And, things like persistence, taking risks, having the courage, being curious, and just having the ambition and the drive, and wanting to learn, and wanting to explore, and make a difference and reach out. So those are some things that really shaped me from very early on as a young girl. And I remember, just to share just a tiny bit of story. My maternal grandmother, lived with her during my high school studies in the remote rural areas of Kisumu, Kenya. And she was such a powerhouse. And when I just started high school, she fell sick, and she got stroke. And so I was, during the day, I'm in the classes, and when we come back, we find a way of nursing her and taking care of her, and teaching her how to eat, teaching her how to talk, how to walk. And in that process, that's when I got so much into, I want to learn more, what is stroke, medical
Mhm.
research, and to study like human body diseases, and how can we cure diseases. So that's what really amplified my interest in the medical sciences, and
Mhm.
medical research and medicine. And I I'm so grateful for my grandmother, because she's one of the women pillars in my life who
Mhm.
helped shape who you're seeing today. And
Yeah.
she's one of those who really should take all the credit, because she did it. She never got formal education. My
Yeah.
grandfather taught her how to write, how to put a signature, because she had to put signatures in documents, and taught her how to read and write, but she never went to school. So for her granddaughter to have achieved a PhD, I know she's happy wherever she is, because
Oh,
she passed away.
yes.
Yeah, she passed away when I just started my PhD in Australia. And so it's, such kind of experiences that you go through in life, it toughen you, and it kind of make you look at life from a broader lens, and just having the faith. And she was a woman of faith, similar to my
Yeah.
mother is a woman of faith, and they both really instilled in me values that I hold dearly even up to today.
Hmm.
And that is, how can you use what you have to make a difference? You don't have to wait until you're a millionaire, billionaire, or you have
Yeah.
this and that to make a difference in your community. How can you use what you have at hand to make that difference? And reaching out and making a difference, it doesn't have to be something grand. It's
Yeah.
even about, you meet a stranger on the way and you say, "Hello, how are you doing? Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day." You don't know how that can positively impact that stranger's day or even life
Yeah.
that very moment. And it's such kind of things, doing good, spreading kindness in your community, wherever you are, and trying to make a world a better place. So it's such kind of experiences that really helped me, to keep going and wanting,
Hmm.
to continue making a difference and making positive impact in whatever community that I've been. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's that perseverance. And something so interesting as I'm listening to you, Dr. Winter, is that I
Yes.
too was raised by my maternal grandmother, and my maternal grandmother actually transitioned from a stroke. And as you know, part of my story,
Mm,
I had two stress-induced strokes. And so it's interesting. I think about being raised by my grandmother, it's like the same thing. She was just such a hardworking woman, and she worked
mm,
so hard to make sure that we had a great life.
yeah,
And I see that in myself too, that like that perseverance. And so I'm
it
just
is.
loving having this conversation with you, just really getting to understand your story and your background a little bit
Yes,
more, and really what kind of drives that drive that you have in terms of
that's right.
persevering against all the odds to
That's right.
get your PhD, And so I
Yeah,
just think it's amazing.
yeah, yeah. And when I touch anything that touches on my grandma, oh, it makes me emotional.
Mhm.
I swore to myself not to cry, but usually it makes me so emotional because she was such a remarkable woman.
Yeah,
She was
so
such a
amazing.
remarkable woman. And even when I was doing my high school studies and whatever challenges we went through, and my mother was also supportive in every way that she could. And just to see how she encouraged me, and they both encouraged me. And for my grandmother, because I stayed with her, she used
Mhm.
to say, "I want you to continue doing your best, keep up the great work, keep up, we will make it through, you'll make it through, you'll make it through." And
Yeah,
when you have people, that kind of a support system, I think it's very important.
yeah,
People who cheer for you, you definitely have to be your number one cheerleader, but when you have a group of people who cheer for you and they're supporting you and giving you that motivation and the encouragement, I think it's important doing that to lift others up, and not just to focus on but to find a way of how can you lift other people, and
yes.
encourage them to keep on going no matter how tough the going can
Yeah, and
be.
and it's the little things. It's the little things that can make a big difference, and that leads me to my next question, and it's
Mhm,
around this theme around daring to dream big,
mhm,
especially when your circumstances don't match your vision. And so,
mhm,
what gave you the courage to dream beyond what was around you? What I
mhm.
mean, in addition to your grandmother, obviously, what else was it that gave you that courage to dream beyond what was around you?
Oh, yes. As I shared, most part of my story, I've shared it even publicly. I was raised in a slum area of Nairobi and also the remote rural area of Kisumu, Kenya. And just seeing what my mother went through, taking care of myself and my siblings. And she's such a strong woman, such a powerhouse. And to see how we struggled, And even because some of the days, some of the years, she couldn't fully take care of all of us at one go, because that's why I had to go to my grandmother's, to study there.
Mhm.
And so to see all the effort that she put in and how hardworking she is, she inspired me so much. And I remember making a vow, and I told her, Mom, a time will come you will not struggle like this. And if I
Mm.
have to be the cycle breaker,
Yes.
I'll break that cycle.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'll
And
break
you've
that
definitely done
cycle
that.
because
Yes.
she never went to college. She only finished to high school. And so I made it a point. And I'm a I made it a commitment, and I love God. And so that was a conversation between me and God. And I
Hmm.
said, I have to work hard to help my family come out of the situation we were in.
Yes.
And being the first born in our family, being the eldest daughter, you can imagine what has been on my shoulder to carry our family.
Yes.
And to make that vow, I want to pursue my education. I was really thirsty and hungry for knowledge. And I kept on, looking for every avenue, what can I do, and what scholarships can I apply for,
Hmm.
to pursue my dreams. And it's not just my dreams, but it was carrying and bringing others with me. And when they say trailblazers, you're creating a path, creating that trail, being the first, college generation. I had to find a way, how can the people behind me, so they also achieve their education. So it's not just about me. So I was not just looking at myself only.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to God that it worked out. It was quite a journey. So many trials, so many failures,
Hmm.
so many moments that I almost had a self doubt and I almost gave up.
Hmm.
But then comes in mentors, people that God aligns with your journey, different mentors. People become mentors in your life in different stages of your life. And it goes back to how you treat people.
Hmm.
And that's what I was taught with my grandmother. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Hmm.
And the kind of respect that I give a president of a company is the same respect I give a janitor, is the same
Yeah.
respect I give homeless person on the street.
Hmm.
And the kind of goodness, the light that you carry within you, when you share it with the world and find a way of spreading it to the world, it comes back to you in many
Yeah.
folds.
And
And
I was just gonna jump in really quickly here, Dr. Winter. What would you say when you think of all of that? What would you say? Because I know there is a woman, whether it's a young woman or a woman who is just in a different season of her life. What would you
yes.
say to a woman who has a big dream, but she's struggling to give herself permission to pursue it? Because sometimes we have a problem giving ourselves permission to just go for what it is that we want. So given all of your lived experience and what it's
Mhm,
taken for you to get to be to where you are today, what would you say
mhm.
to that woman who is struggling to give herself permission to pursue her dream?
I would say to any woman who's struggling, I would say embrace whatever failure that you've gone through. Don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as a redirection. Look at it as
Mm,
a learning opportunity, and it's not an endpoint. And, seek, just keep on knocking on doors. Ask
yeah,
and it shall be given to you. Knock on doors and seek new experiences, and also use your voice,
yeah,
being vocal. And as I'm so grateful, you're championing this as well. And, being vocal, speaking up, just never be afraid to use your voice. Um, it can also, amplifying your voice in situations, it can help make a difference. And also, just supporting and lifting each other's, other people up as well, and looking for different platforms. And even as the programs would take the lead, for instance, take
Mm-hmm.
the lead women programs, leadership programs. I saw it, and when I took the leap of faith and applied, enrolled for the 9 power tools,
Mm-hmm.
to advance your career.
Program. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
program. So things like that, connect with other people. And now we have the internet, you know.
Yes.
Now we have the internet. There's so much you can learn online. There's so much you can
Yeah.
learn online. So many networking opportunities that you can reach out and connect with other fellow women in other parts of the world. You get to share your story because there's power in storytelling as well. Like
Yes.
we remember in our um previous series with Michelle.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
power in
Yep.
storytelling, and when you share your story, you don't know what positive impact it will make. How much impact it can make in someone else's life, and they can feel like, oh, so I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who went through this or who's going through this. Someone else
Mm-hmm.
has been in my shoes, and what did they
And
do to
and more
overcome
importantly,
that?
they've been in my shoes, but they've gotten to the other side,
To
right?
the
So
other
it's like
side,
I
yes,
know that this is just a point as I'm
yes,
on the journey, right? I think
yeah.
that's so very important to see people who have not only been where I've been, but
Mm,
now I can continue to have hope that anything is possible because they made the breakthrough, you know?
that's right. Yeah, and that's why I continue reaching out and sending that elevator down, using mentoring as a platform. And, I
Mm-hmm.
founded the Pamoja Kenya Mentorship Alliance organization and reaching out not just to the young girls in the underprivileged areas, but also, the youth, reaching
Mm-hmm.
out to the young people and just to share with them and find a way of mentoring and giving back to the society through mentoring and empowering them, whether it's in the sciences, in education, and just championing goodness in the society. So I think it's important. And as I always say, humanity is the essence of our being, and we
Mm.
need to champion humanity, find a way of spreading the kindness, find a way of, being the reason people still in the goodness of humanity overall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
this brings me to like your work spans like multiple arenas. You have
Mhm.
scientific research, you have policy advocacy, you have
That's it.
global health, education, and leadership, which is so amazing. And so, how
Mhm.
does defining your own terms show up in the way you approach science and public health leadership?
Yeah, so it shows up, just echoing the few tips that I shared earlier, like how to become or to define your own terms. And it shows up, if it's, let's say, what are you passionate about? What is your purpose? Each one of us has a purpose. And when you know your purpose and this is what I want to accomplish. And, whether it's in the science or policy, advocacy, or leadership arena, what is the purpose? Leading with intention. It's not just a matter of getting into a role, but what's the end goal? Is it to make the world healthier? Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're researching on different diseases, when you're trying to develop cure for a particular disease, are you developing that to make money, or are you developing that to make the world healthier? What is your
Mm,
purpose? What do you prioritize? About making a difference in
mhm.
the society. So it's something about, looking introspectively, like looking within yourself and asking yourself these questions, and just having that, solitude moment. Just sit down with yourself, have a candid chat, have a candid talk with yourself. Is what I'm doing adding more to the world, adding more good
Mhm.
to the world?
So good. So
Yeah,
good. So
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is good. And so I have a just maybe one or two questions as we close off. But before we do that, for those of you who are watching, I want you to type yes in the chat if Dr. Winter's story is reminding you to really think bigger about what's possible for your own leadership, because it's so very important. Now, Dr. Winter, we know that you are deeply committed to mentorship, and the organization you founded is the Pamoja Kenya
Pamoja?
Mentorship
Yeah.
Alliance. It's
Mm-hmm.
creating generational impact. And so I would love you to just share briefly, what does transformative mentorship mean to you? And why is it such a core part of your mission?
Yes, mentorship is very important. And as I always say, I'm a product of genuine mentorship, transformative mentorship. Mentors are people who they guide you. Mentors are there to help you see your way forward. And even though, you might already have an idea of where you want to go, your
Hmm.
mentors, maybe they've been there already, but they can, or
Hmm.
maybe they're not yet there, but they can help you, guide you to see how to get there.
Hmm.
And with mentoring, we believe the motto for our organization, mentoring is the next most important basic necessity for youths and children around the world. And when I say basic necessity, you need mentorship in every aspect of life. It's
Yes.
important in every aspect of life, and it evolves with time, it evolves in different phases of life. And so when you start at a young age, having access to mentors who can help guide you, that will be very critical, and it will
Hmm.
be very helpful for that child as they grow, starting from within the family when they have mentors within the family sector, among friends or family, and then, as they proceed in different levels of their life. So I think embracing mentoring in different capacities in different levels of life is very important. And that's
Hmm.
why we're championing that with our mentoring programs in Kenya.
Yeah, I love that you say that mentoring is so important different for different levels of your life. So that means that no matter where you are, whether you are a teen, whether you are an adult, whether you are in your midlife, like at
Mhm.
any stage in your life, we can all use a mentor because we're always
Yes.
growing. And I love that's something that you're amplifying, because I think we get ourselves in trouble once we've gotten a little experience and we feel like we don't need that extra support or that extra mentoring or that extra, coaching, if you will. I think that it's so
Yeah.
important that we're always
Mm-hmm.
learning, because people
Mm.
always want to learn from someone who's
Yes.
always prioritizing their own learning, right? And
Yes.
so
Yes.
I love that. So let's bring it back to the power tool and defining your own terms. Can you
Mm-hmm.
share a moment in your career when you had to redefine what leadership looked like for you, even when it went against expectations?
Whew. Redefine what leadership looked like. Um, I think when I made the decision to focus on, public health after finishing undergrad. And it goes back to just having self reflection, just reflecting with yourself about what do I want to do and what kind of impact will it make in the community and in the world. And I think that's when I finished my undergrad, and I was thinking about, which path do I want to take. And
Mhm.
then I decided to focus on, public health, global health, research on the science side of things. And I'm actually glad that I went that route.
Mhm.
And, seeking knowledge and curious to understand diseases, and how do we, develop cure and therapeutics, whether you talk about vaccines,
Mhm.
so things like that. So which you eventually you can see, okay, this is how I'm trying to better humanity,
Mhm.
even for the next generations to come. um, and so it's always a constant evolving thing. You have to keep on redefining at every different stages of life. And that's why I like what you mentioned about we have to constantly keep on learning and being open to learning new things and evolving, embracing ideas, new ideas,
Yeah.
as life keep on evolving and the world keep on changing too, and it keeps on
Look,
evolving.
life
You know,
life be life and
life being lifing.
life be life it, right?
Yes, indeed.
That's so good. And so we're gonna start to close out, but I want for those of you who are listening, if you ever had to redefine your path or reclaim your voice, type me in the chat and just see who's there with you. So Winter, we're gonna end with this. What is one message you want women listening today to remember about defining their own terms and leading out loud?
I want to encourage women everywhere. Never look down on yourself. Embrace who you are. You matter. Everybody matters. And never look down on yourself. Use whatever you have within your reach to make a difference. It can be making a difference starting within you as
Hmm.
you pour it out to others. And never give up. The struggle is real indeed. In different,
Hmm.
whatever stage that you're in, the struggle, the mountain, you keep on climbing that mountain. And I can say that there've been so many barriers in different areas, in different aspects of life, and we will not give up breaking those barriers. We will not give up breaking the barriers. And it also takes matter of sisterhood. Find a network of women who
Hmm.
are, championing goodness in their communities, in the world, and connect, network,
Yeah.
and that's how you amplify your goodness and you make the world a better place. And what I can say, just keep up the faith.
Hmm.
Check out programs like Take the Lead Women,
Yeah.
and any other programs. Find a way of enrolling and reaching out and learning, expand your knowledge in different matters, concerning leadership, and never be afraid to engage in leadership roles because your voice matters. Your voice matters, and we need your voice in those rooms. We need your voice in those, podiums, in those, um, what can I say, in those spaces. We need your
Yeah.
voice. Your voice matters. So it's
Mm.
time to just get involved and make it happen. It's possible.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Well, Dr. Wynn, I want to thank you for this extraordinary conversation. Your life, your work, and your leadership are a powerful example of what it looks like to define your own path and lift others as you rise. And to everyone who joined today, thank you for being a part of this live conversation, as well as those who listen to the replay. And if this conversation inspired you and you are ready to lead change in your own community, I want to invite you to learn more about 50 Women Can Lead the Change. It's the next initiative from Take the Lead, and it's designed for women who want to co create the future of leadership right here. We're starting off with our beta launch here in Arizona at the top of next year. And then we're going to branch out to other cities. Maybe it's yours. Maybe you'll want to lead one in your city. But we're building a founding circle now. And if you like more information, just type 50 women in the chat and we'll follow up with you with more details. And until next time, keep leading out loud. Your voice has power and the world needs to hear it. And thank you so much again, Dr. Winter.
Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Take the Lead Women. Thank you, everyone.